Hey guys, what's up? It's Joe Raiti from Raiti's Rides. I am in this secret hangar well within Fort Lauderdale, Florida, and guess what? We have some excitement coming from the GR performance brand from Toyota, and it starts with this vehicle here. What is it? This is your 2024 Toyota Supra, that GR Supra, but guess what? This is an all-new 45th anniversary edition. But before we get into this bright orange, it's not red, bright orange two-seat sports car, let's talk about what's going on here. The Supra, celebrating 45 years of existence. Now, what's funny is that a lot of people have been debating and arm wrestling about what this Supra is all about, and I think a lot of people have finally gotten on board with what Toyota is bringing with the vehicle. Now, if you go back to 1979, technically there wasn't a Supra, it was called the Celica Supra, and that would be that Mark I start of this 45-year history span. You go into 1982, that's when we see the birth of the Mark II. And what's fascinating is that those first 2 years, we weren't talking about this pure unlimited power sports car. It was more of a GT car, a grand touring car. Now, once we get to Mark III, and that would be 1986, this is where we start to see the power and the performance really start to rise. Now, what's fascinating is I remember being around 8 years old, one of my dad's friends had a Mark II, and I thought I was the coolest kid in the school whenever he had to drive me to school because he had a black on black second gen Supra. Now, with the third gen, there's a little bit of history there with that vehicle as well. When I was working at my local grocery store, doing my thing when I was in high school, one of my good friends also working at the grocery store had a Mark III Supra. It was this pearlescent white, beautiful car. He loved it just as much as I loved my own car that I was driving at the time, which was a 1985 Corvette. Now, with Mark IV, that is another special introduction. And it's fascinating because the Mark IV really didn't get its oomph until, of course, 1999 with the Fast and Furious franchise. But I remember sitting in my marine biology class, a junior in high school in 1993, reading my issue of Car and Driver and just being blown away by the stats of that Supra. Twin turbocharged power, ultimate performance, and a style that's still iconic and fresh to this day. And then, of course, I don't think anybody could forget Detroit Auto Show 2019 with the Mark V Supra. I think a lot of people were excited, but there was also, like I said, a lot of debate on whether it was a true Supra. Well, guess what? Toyota has kept to their word and has kind of upped the ante each year with this new Supra, and now we have a 45th anniversary edition. So what I want to find out is, if you're looking for a new sports car and you like that choice of either having an automatic or getting that slick shifting 6-speed manual transmission, is this 45th anniversary the best way to celebrate and get that sports car? Let's go ahead, let's dive in and find out. Right off the bat, the shape. I think that now a lot of people are really gravitating towards this Mark V shape of the Supra, and one thing that helps definitely with this celebration is two color choices. You're gonna have Absolute Zero or this all new color called Maicon Orange. And basically Maicon means orange in Japan. It's like an orange blast, Maicon blast. Now at the front of the business, you're still gonna get, of course, full LED lighting, that goes without saying, but the color really highlights and accentuates the shape of the vehicle. One of the zonks that I do have is that you're still getting the fake vents. I wish that they would have kind of made those a little bit more functional with each iteration, but like I said, they've been up in the ante with horsepower. They brought the 6-speed manual just like they promised. It's gonna be interesting to see where the story's gonna go with the Supra. Now on the lower portion, you're still getting that satin flat black splitter, and I think you're gonna like how this is gonna match what's on the back of the vehicle. And as we come across the front, really has that nice balanced proportion. It's got enough width, it's got enough of that kind of presence that you want from a sports car, full functionality in the center. And then of course, as we rise up onto that low sloping hood, I think this is one of my favorite touches of this current gen, is how the fenders and the top of the hood are all one piece. Really gives it a nice clean style. Now, as we come around the bend, with this special edition, 45th anniversary edition, they're making only 900 of them. So there's not gonna be many that are produced. What you're gonna find is this multi-spoke satin black wheel. Very, very nice on the style. I love the way the blades almost look like a samurai sword all the way around. You're also gonna get unique calipers. So instead of red calipers, you're gonna get these gloss black with the GR logo. Remember, Gazoo Racing, just this past weekend, finished second overall with their hypercar at the 24 Hours of Le Mans. It's that technology, it's that performance that gets brought into all the GR vehicles that Toyota produces. But of course, we're gonna have those nice size rotors, the suspension tuned for that performance. But like I said, I think the biggest point is not only are they gonna make 900 of these, but you get your choice of the ZF 8-speed automatic, or my personal favorite is the 6-speed manual. Now, coming down the side, one of the extra touches besides the color is gonna be this beautiful side stripe. And I'm so glad how they integrated it. Instead of starting it all the way on the lower portion of the fender, I think it was smart where they placed it with that Supra script, and then how it kind of just accentuates the body lines of the side of the vehicle. I think that's one of my favorite things about the Mark V is from the side, it's got some really great flowing lines. And then of course, when you get to the rear, the way those fenders come and sweep out gives it a very seductive look. But on the special edition, you're gonna have your flat black on the mirror caps. I like that because it matches the wheels. Of course, we got the gloss black on the A-pillar, and then coming towards the rear, dropping down just to give you a nice visual of that rear wheel. Remember, we're talking about these wheels wrapped with those Michelin Pilot Super Sport tires, give you enough stick, enough grip. You're gonna have that limited slip diff to help you get the power to the ground, because this is rear wheel drive, which is awesome, you know, and that's something that kind of keeps with the lineage. And then my favorite part of this 45th anniversary edition has gotta be the rear wing. And this isn't something that they just smacked on. They actually tuned it in two different ways. You have two manual adjusted positions, one for the street, one for the circuit that they call it. Love the way it's got a nice gloss black, and I'm kind of glad that it didn't do the basket handle. I know a lot of people want to see the basket handle style spoiler like was on the Mark IV. I feel like there's a lot of aftermarket companies that have been doing a lot of that, so it's nice to see something unique. But I'm going to have Lori show you. You can see the adjustability. I think that's my favorite part, is that not only does it look good, but it actually has that functionality. So when you go to the track, you can make that adjustment depending on what type of track that you're at. And then of course, dropping it like it's hot, you're gonna get your full LED lighting, just like up front. Love the way that Supra name pops off from the back of the vehicle. Of course, we have our GR, that Gazoo Racing. Great to see all of that race win going on at Le Mans and all the other circuits. And then of course, we still have that nice large aluminum tip exhaust. You have quiet. You could also make it louder to piss everybody off, and I like that idea. And the fact that you have your LED lights in that lower section for backing up. But why don't we go ahead, let's pop the hood and see if there's anything unique on this 45th anniversary edition Supra. All right guys, we got the hood popped on our Supra, and like I said, having it all be one piece with that hood open really gives it a unique look. But also, what I like about this 45th anniversary edition, it's not just about the exterior. They did some really nice touches on the front end of the business. You're gonna notice how we have that Micon Orange Blast color on the bracing, and look at how they tied everything in. Because remember, it's not just about horsepower, it's all about tuning the chassis to get the power to the ground. And of course, underneath that engine cover, what are we looking at? We're looking at that 3-liter inline six, straight six turbocharged engine. And what's fantastic is if you go through the history of the Supra, you see that straight six. So it's nice that we're still using straight six power. Of course, like I said, turbocharged. You're looking at 382 horsepower, 368 pound-feet of torque, ZF 8-speed automatic, 6-speed manual transmission. 0 to 60 in the automatic is around 3.7 seconds. If you know how to do the dance with your twinkle toes with the 6-speed manual, about 3.9 seconds. Top speed is governed to 161 miles an hour. And remember, the vehicle weighs around 3,342 pounds. So nice to see that it's not just about the performance, but obviously somebody owning a special car like this is gonna wanna go to Cars and Coffee or other types of auto show events and wanna pop the hood. So nice to have a unique touch, but you know what? Why don't we go ahead, let's just fire this up in here and remember what the Supra sounds like. All right, guys, we are inside this 2024 Toyota Supra, this 45th anniversary edition. I know you're saying to yourself, well, Joe, I've been waiting out. I've been holding out for a Supra. I think I'm ready to pull the trigger and get one of these, but how much is it? No official pricing yet, but think about the other special editions that Toyota has brought on the Supra. I'm sure it's going to be very comparable to those prices and very competitive to what other manufacturers are offering. But why don't we go ahead, let me show you around the 45th anniversary edition on the interior to the door panels. I still like the nice, clean, simple design. Obviously, you could see the influence from that other brand that Toyota worked with the development of this car, but the materials are spot on. A little bit of gloss black around the switchgear, but nothing that's a big deal. You have the JBL premium sound system. Door pocket though is on the tight side, maybe one hot dog from 7-Eleven, and that's about it. Now going from the door panel to the dash, I do have to issue one big zonk in here, and there's no special touches. All of this special nice material, the stitching and everything is the same material you get in your standard Supra. I wish they would have had maybe some orange and brought it to the inside, but you still get that nice size infotainment system, 8.8-inch full touchscreen capability, very, very intuitive. Working your way down, you got a real volume knob, music controls, and then of course on the lower side of things you have your dual climate, and you also have your heated seats. It would have been nice to have ventilated seats in here, so I am gonna zonk that, but you do get wireless charging, some nice carbon fiber, you got that iDrive control knob, but this is where the magic happens. They knew I wanted this. This has that 6-speed manual transmission with the GR logo on the shift knob. Nice, short, crisp engagement. This is the way to get your sports car. 2 cup holders, and then the seats, like I said, still fantastic. My only zonk is I wish there was some special edition going on, maybe some embroidery, something like that. You do have power adjustment for the passenger, power adjustment for the driver. But speaking about the driver, why don't you come over here to the business end? I want to show you behind the wheel of this 45th anniversary edition Supra. All right, guys, business time behind the wheel. Let me show you something special. They have a nice badge right here letting you know what number of the 900 you have of this 45th anniversary edition. And then of course you got the triple pedal setup. Love the nice space in the pedal box. And what's great is that if you want to do your own heel toe downshifting, you could do that, or it has the automatic rev match downshift with that nice clutch. I just wish they would have gave us an aluminum dead pedal, because everything else is aluminum down there, which gives it a nice overall feel. Speaking of aluminum, you have that nice sill plate with the Toyota Supra badge. You have 2 memory seat settings for the driver, and once you get into the Supra, it really wraps around you very nicely like an isotoner glove. Really feels good in here. Steering wheel, still that same great thickness. The stitching, like I said, where's my 45th anniversary edition special touches? Maybe a special badge or something here, or put the GR logo. But other than that, you have your manual tilting and telescoping wheel, and then your digital display with that nice large tack smack dab in the center, give you the readouts and a head-up display. But the great news about this sports car is that it actually has some usable space. Let's check out the cargo area and wrap it up from our secret hangar location. All right, guys, cargo area time, and that's one of the things that I think makes the Supra such a great sports car is not only its performance, but you actually can use this on a daily basis. Hit that nice trunk release on the key fob, lift it up, and you're not only going to be greeted to a decent wide space, but also a very low cargo floor. And what's interesting is how everything is tied into the chassis. Even up top, you could see how we have a rear strut brace, just like we have underneath the hood, to stiffen up the back of the vehicle, just like the front, but really shows you the usability of this Supra and just how unique of a car that these cars are not going to be around forever. But let me know what you think about this 45th anniversary edition. Is this the right way to celebrate? You know, you get the party hats out, you got the noisemakers and everything else. Is this the right way to celebrate the birthday, that 45 years of existence of the Supra? And is this the best new sports car that you would want to buy? Let Toyota know down in that comment section, because I promise you they read through the comments here on Raiti's Rides. But you know what? If you're new to the channel and you're on your way out, hit that subscribe button. I know you'll be very happy to come back for more. If you are a subscriber, thank you for being part of the Raiti's Rides family. Of course, we need to thank Lori, working that camera like a champ. Show her some love in the comment section. Thank you, Lori, for all that you do. And just like always, guys, I'll see you on the next ride.